lot of terrible things have been happening in the world lately, so, you know, it's a time like this where heroes are really needed. And unfortunately, the Overwatch team does not exist in reality, so we're going to try and be the heroes, because heroes never die, by bringing some positivity to the world, Joe, by talking about Overwatch.
Sounds good. I'm sure a lot of waifu lovers are pretty upset that Overwatch isn't a real thing as well, so...
Wow. Straight to the waifus, Joe. Jeez. Right for the jugular.
I'm just saying, there's probably a few upset people that D.Va is not a real thing.
Alright, so anyway, before we start, to justify probably the crazy title I'm probably gonna have to give this video, I'm going to pose the question: is Overwatch still fun, Joe? Is Overwatch still fun? Is it, Joe? Do you still enjoy playing Overwatch now that you've had a few months to play the actual full release as opposed to just the beta?
I think I do. Overwatch is still fun. I'd say it's really fun. I think with Overwatch, I don't know, it's kind of weird asking me, because I've not really played as much as I wanted to. I've just not had much time to like really play too much. You've played a lot more than I have.
Yeah.
I love following the game. That's where my fun comes in. I like watch a lot of Overwatch these days. You know, when I'm not playing it, because I don't have much time to play it, I usually have like it snapped to the side, like when I'm watching people play it on Twitch. Yeah. And I love watching it, man. I love playing it. I love everything about Overwatch. I still think it's really fun.
So what do you watch like on Twitch? Do you watch like the Gosu gamers and the ESLs or whatever?
Yeah. I watch a lot of like the pro tournaments and things like that. And there's a few players I watch as well who are kind of sub to, not sub to, but kind of follow and things like that. But yeah, I love watching the tournaments, and I feel like watching it sometimes hinders me from playing it because I see all these people be like amazing players. And man, I just suck compared. I'll never be as good as these players. Like, you know.
Let's be honest here. Like, these people spend like 8 hours a day, or maybe even more. Maybe even like 12 hours a day playing the game. So I mean, I'm sure if you invested like 12 hours a day of your time to playing Overwatch, you'd probably be as good as them. Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
You'd probably get a little bit of a rub off of like, I know what I'm doing now. Like, I can go into King's Row. I can you know, shoot my grappling hook across the map and get like 12 headshots. You know, yeah, that's right, 12 headshots. Even my teammates, I'll shoot them in the head because I can, because I've spent 12 hours playing Overwatch.
You see, I feel like that's true. But I think for a lot of the heroes, maybe not. Like, I say for like people like McCree and things like that, I don't think I'll ever be as good because some of these players have just had so much experience playing like aiming on with like mouse and keyboard on PC, and I just never have. Like, even when I got a PC, I used to play with controller. Yeah, I feel like my aim will just never be as good because I just never practiced on mouse and keyboard. But
the other interesting thing though is that talking about pro players still, a lot of them come from like the TF2 community, so again, they even have more knowledge about, you know, team-based gameplay, you know, coming from that background. So again, you're talking about people who have years upon years of experience, you know, and the transition, again, as I've mentioned before, you know, the transition between TF2 to Overwatch is a lot smoother than I think a lot of people might realize, you know, because they play very similar. They have the similar concepts. So, you know, I'm not surprised that the TF2 community has really embraced Overwatch.
Yeah, definitely.
And from my perspective, it's sort of that same way. Like, before, I was sort of apprehensive. Like, I don't know if you remember, but before you guys got hyped for Overwatch, I remember I was in a Skype call with you, Tim, and Kevin. And I remember asking, hey, are any of you guys into Overwatch? And I got like dead silence from you guys.
I didn't remember that.
I remember because I remember that was the point where I was just like, all right, if I buy Overwatch, I'm probably going to be playing solo, just like TF2. Do I want to invest time? And over time, I've finally gotten to that point where I embrace Overwatch the same way I did eventually with TF2, where like solo queuing is not the most terrible thing, you know. It's not the horrible thing that I was really dreading about whether or not I would buy Overwatch, you know, back then, you know. So I've gotten to the point where I really embrace Overwatch in the same fashion that I did with TF2, where, like, you know, I invest in the characters and then I play not so much to whatever the composition has to be, but rather to the situation, you know.
it is definitely still fun to play solo.
Yeah.
And that's like the majority. That's like the majority we probably play. You know, just like solo because of like our time zone differences. We don't really get much time to play together, really.
Yeah. But it's interesting that you cite like the watching the pros and being like comparing yourself to the pros, because it is a very different monster. Like the team play versus solo queuing is so different.
So
And it's sort of like here's the thing, like even now, like especially nowadays where like people have established, you know, their heroes and whatnot, like when I'm solo queuing and I lose, I'll be like, okay, what did I do there that I could probably improve on in the future, you know? But then I look at my results and I've got like 3 or 4 gold medals. I'm like, I don't know, did I just get a bad group? Why do I keep getting these bad groups? You know?
Yeah, I think with solo, you just got. I mean, I don't know. Like, I play solo, and like, it's still. I have a lot of fun. Like, a lot of the times, you know, people know what they're doing for the most part. You'll always get idiots who just can't play, but sometimes you come across people who are good, and like, it's really fun to play. I just kind of wish I had like more friends who played Overwatch, because like, I think you are literally the only friend I've got who plays Overwatch. I mean, a lot of people say solo queue is like the worst thing, but I still have fun with solo queue, so I don't know.
But that's the thing, like when you play solo queue, you can't expect to win. You gotta, if you play solo queue, you have to play to have fun and not play to win. The minute you start to try to play to win is when the salt happens and you hate life.
That's me.
A lot of the time, when you go into solo queue, like people will never play support. Like, you'll never get a healer. And Anna, I swear to God, has screwed that entire thing up, because people see Anna and they're like, oh, there's a support. We don't need any more healers. And then the Anna spends the entire match trying to be a Widow 2.0, you know?
Yeah, but it's kind of weird, because a lot of people, I feel like at the minute, like, people are just testing out Anna. And there's not really a lot you can do about it, you know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah. But it's a sad reality is that like at this point I'd figure, like I mentioned it back before Overwatch officially came out, I was like, you know, I hope that because there was a price tag on this, people would sort of understand that you need to play as a team. Like, you're buying the game, so you probably want to play the game right.
Yeah.
But no, it's like people bought the game and they're like, okay, I'm gonna pick Reaper, I'm gonna pick Genji so I can get play of the game. I'm like, good job, you got play of the game, but we still lost. You know?
Yeah. People always just gonna have their heroes who they play as, man. It's you can't really do much. And I don't know, Genji is actually pretty good in the latest patch. I mean, it's kind of weird.
The heroes are
not enough
fine.
Genjis who like.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Every hero is good, and we'll talk about the patch in a second here, but every character has its pros and cons, but the problem is that if people only play those characters, or they refuse to, this game requires you to switch when the time calls for it, you know? That's part of the game. Like, so, a lot of the times, like even in pro play, you will see people constantly switching off characters in certain situations. You know, that is part of the game. That is what makes a good match, is switching off, trying to better whatever your opponent's strategy is. Like, that's part of the game. But the entire, if you're playing Genji and you're like getting bronze or not even getting a medal in damage or any of the roles, you should probably switch off. I'm just saying. I
know exactly what you're saying, and I can actually agree with you when people start blaming you, man. There's so many situations where, like, I feel like Symmetra is my most played character, and like, I love Symmetra. She's so good in the right hands on the right maps. You know, she's obviously very, very like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, she's very map-based, situational. You know what I mean? You're only gonna pick her on, like, I don't know, like Hollywood maybe. And like, I remember when I was playing New Barney once, which is one of my favorite maps to play Symmetra on. Like, I just love playing Symmetra on that first point on defense on New Barney. And like, I had my portal up, and like, the portal was being used. It got used, like fully used, right? And I got it up so fast, put it up, everyone came through it. We held the first point for like such a long time, and then the last second, like, they managed to just like finally get us off it, you know what I mean? They managed to capture that point. And just before they captured that point, I like threw down another like portal, like my second portal on that first point. And like, I got a couple of guys through, but you know, ultimately they overran it and they took it down. It was basically just like a last grasp effort just to kind of get a couple more guys to like defend or whatever. And then some guy's like chatting shit to me. He's like, fucking only had your portal up for 2 seconds and immediately like killed. Well done. I'm like, well, did you fucking miss like the first portal I put up, like where it got used completely? I actually called him out on it, and he's like, oh, didn't even notice. I'm like, yeah, you didn't fucking notice, dipshit. I get so salty at stuff like that. But for every comment which is like bad like that, you know, there are people who are actually really positive and like give you compliments. I've had like some really good like compliments, like when I played Symmetra, like, oh, you know, amazing Symmetra, you know, great portal location, you know, thanks, dude. And I feel like that kind of makes up for like the shit that you do get. It's very rare that you actually get that positive stuff though.
Yeah, I would say if you even gotten one message about that, you're still doing way better than me. The only time anybody acknowledges anything I do is when I'm doing it apparently terrible. But I'll tell you, like, it is bullcrap because sometimes, like, okay, I remember there was one game I played, King's Row. It was King's Row, and I remember because I took a screenshot. The team berated me like crazy. I got gold in damage done as Lucio.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'll throw up the screenshot in this video. I got gold as Lucio for damage done, and I got crap because we lost on that map.
Jesus, man.
I'm just like,
who didn't play that? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But let's I try not to be negative, but okay, we're done with the salt. We're done with the salt. Let's try to be more positive. So recently they came up with a patch that rebalanced a whole bunch of characters, including Diva, Zenyatta, McCree, who kind of got a nerf after that, but regardless. And I think that patch made the game even more fun. Like, now I feel like Diva... Like, I felt like Diva's defense matrix should have been the way it is now at the start, you know? Because Diva felt like a very... like sort of all or nothing tank. Like, you would fly in, you would defense matrix because you would probably be taking bullets at that point, and then you would try to do your damage and try to fly back out. But you know, it was like a one and done deal. Like,
yeah, my main thing with Diva was like the ult. You know, like you never killed anybody with that thing. Like in the first week, you probably did. But like the fact that your own ult killed you as well, and it like lasted as long as it did. I think the big thing with that was though is that you compare it to other people's ults. Like I don't know, like Junkrat, you know, Reaper. You know, you almost guaranteed at least one kill if you like do it in the right spot. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah,
I think your ult should have a really good chance of killing people. They made it a lot better now, so it's like it's quicker.
It might be a little too on point now. Well, the thing is like, I understand timing's everything, but I feel like sometimes it's hard to determine whether or not you're safe from an ult. And with like the 3-second thing, it's kind of like, okay, am I behind the wall? Am I not? Oh crap! I wasn't far enough behind the wall, so I don't know. Maybe my foot was sticking out, so now I'm dead. I'm like, great. Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, the thing I did like about Diva's ult, or trying to counter Diva's ult, was I had an opportunity to be like, okay, I need to find safety, and then I can run to that safety. But you know, if you're playing like a tank or something, you're boned, and it's kind of like, well, that was all right.
Her defense matrix is insane right now though, because you can block like literally like almost every ult. I think you can block black holes from Zarya. You can block like tires from Junkrat. Like, it's insane. I'm more excited for the Zenyatta buff, man. That's nice. Yeah. I used to play him anyway, but now I'm like,
definitely.
Playing, so.
Yeah, Zenyatta was pretty much always like the character I wanted to play, and I still want to play it more. But you know, he's a secondary healer. But yeah, I really like that they finally gave him. I'm a little sad that they nerfed his damage, but. You know, he got a huge health buff, which is what he needed. So now there's a little bit more survivability there, you know?
Yeah, the speed increase on his ult is like so funny now. Like, I don't know, it just makes me laugh.
I love it.
I swear it was higher, but then they slowed it. I think like when it was on PTR, it's actually even faster. I don't know if that's the case. I might be imagining things, but
he might have been getting boosted by Ana.
Yeah, probably Ana and I think Lucio as well. I think that's what it was, like Lucio speed.
Yeah, the stack on that is ridiculous. But yeah, I really like that. The thing that I really like about his buffs though was the fact that his orbs are much quicker. Like I felt like his orbs were so slow. It was like, okay, I'm lining it up. Did I get it? No, it was too slow. He's already behind the wall, and it's like. Now it's like almost instantaneous, and it's like, yes, I can finally start doing damage as Zenyatta without having to have that second of uncertainty as to whether or not my orb hit or not, you know.
Yeah.
So that was really good. I'm still waiting for that day where I get play of the game where I get a kick.
Yeah.
I mean, Zenyatta play of the games are rare already, but I just want that moment where I kick someone and I'm just like, yes.
You can just get a triple kill with just kicks, like just get someone on your team, like lower down everybody's health and then just like jump on like a hill or something and just kick people to death. That would be amazing. Hopefully that's out there. I don't know.
Imagine discording a tank and getting the kick kill. Oh.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
You know what would be even better if his kicks actually had like a boop effect, like Lucio, it can knock people back, like kicking
Dude,
people
that would be
off,
too overpowered, man.
Yeah, maybe a little
That's giving him too much power. Because you could disc orb, and then you could do a knockback, and then just keep kicking him. You can Sparta kick him off a cliff.
It
And be
never
like,
worked,
what?
right? It sounds funny. That needs to replace his ult just for a kick that like knocks people like miles back.
when he's transcendence, he suddenly gets a super kick.
Yeah, that's what you need. Like, so it's not invincible. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be too much power. But I would love to see just vroom, like you just see a big ball of light coming here, like, oh my god, get out of the way, and he just kicks people off the side of the cliff. That would be great.
Yeah, I'll be down. Sounds good.
Yeah, but I always wanted to play McCree, and I felt like this buff to McCree actually made him more viable, even though he was a little overpowered. I admit, but I was a terrible McCree player, so it was sort of the handicap that I needed. But I still enjoy playing him now. Like he's versatile in the mid-range game, which is something that comes in handy a lot, especially on like King of the Hill maps.
I just suck at like playing DPS, like people who can aim. I feel like, but it's just down to the keyboard and mouse thing again. I'm just not comfortable like with aiming like that, and I'm just never going to be as good as like other players. So I just kind of leave it up to other people and hope we get like amazing McCrees and like soldiers and things. But
the thing with McCree is he's a very different type of DPS character.
I like that he's like one shot. Like
every shot has to count. Like my weakness with McCree is that if I get like a flashbang off, I'm like, holy crap, I got a flashbang off. Oh, what do I do? Click. Oh wait, I'm not aiming properly. Damn it, I'm out of bullets. Damn it, I'm dead. You know, that's always my thing with McCree. But, you know, again, it's practice makes perfect. So I think that, you know, if you keep playing McCree, you start understanding the way his gun works, you know.
That's another one of the other things, you know. It's like, I talk, you know, we've done it, we've got salty on this, you know, I'm talking about Overwatch today. And like, I just feel like if I was to like test playing McCree, I'd just get shit on for like 8 hours straight, and like, people would just be like talking shit to me and like, oh my god, you suck, and like, no shit, I suck. But you know, people have got to practice. But I think what we were saying earlier is that you can practice, but maybe there's still time to like switch off onto characters if it's not working. But it's kind of finding that balance, you know what I mean? Like getting in the practice time, but still trying to like switch out characters to win the matches.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? You can't just fucking play AI all the time because you just never get anywhere.
Yeah. It's a sense of respect. So like sometimes there are games that I just go into and I'm like, okay, clearly these guys aren't trying, or they're trying out new characters. So I'll do the same, you know? Yeah. But anytime I feel like, okay, I'm going to try a character, and if it turns out that I'm the weak link, I'll apologize to my teammates. I'll be like, sorry, man, I'm just trying these new characters, or sorry, you know, I was out of my game or whatever. I was out of my element. I don't know.
Exactly,
I'll always explain if you know they're not insulting me.
Yeah, exactly. You just hope they can get a little bit of carrying going on when you're trying out a new character. You know what I mean? But if you're not getting carried and the team are just sucking, you know, just apologize and maybe switch off. That's kind of
See, I think that's my biggest problem, or my biggest issue with the way that a lot of people approach Overwatch is trying to encourage your team to do better by insulting them never works. But people seem to think that's the only way that you can communicate, you know. And it's one thing to just say like us doing it through comms and just, you know, venting. But to sit there and type it out, or to go over the team speak and be like, yo, you suck, get off that character, or whatever. That's a whole nother monster.
I think what is different with Overwatch as well is, you know, obviously you get dicks in every online game. There's always people chatting shit, saying the stupidest fucking stuff in the chat. But with Overwatch, because it's such a team-focused game, you know, it's not like you're playing team deathmatch on Call of Duty and someone's chatting shit to you, you know? Because it's pretty much every man for himself on a team deathmatch, you know? But in a game like Overwatch where it is so team dependent, it's pretty shitty when your own team just can't be supportive or like just I can't even imagine being out of mindset. But maybe it's just a kids thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to think it's a kids thing.
Yeah.
I don't want people my age like fucking being so toxic. But.
Yeah, I feel like there are generational gaps, like in the way that people approach the way that they do with multiplayer games. Because I remember the days back in when there was only local co-op, where like if you were mad salty or you were just a big old dick, like your friend would just punch you or something, be like, yo, what you doing, man? We're just trying to have fun. You're being a dick over here.
Yeah.
But I think like the anonymous nature of the internet has just changed that to the point where like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
We're getting too old, Joe.
I feel like we are complaining.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody who likes and enjoys playing Overwatch probably feels the same way,
Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing, like, as much as I might get on the case of people who get on my nerves, like I admittedly get a little spiteful when people purposely don't choose healers and then they complain about the way I'm healing. I'm like, well, if you can do a better job, be my guest. But at the end of the day, though, like Overwatch has become like my decompression game where like I go to just try to mellow out, oddly enough. So most of the games that I play, like I'm like, fine, we lost that's cool. Hopefully we'll do better in the next game. If not, it is what it is. But no matter if you're playing competitive or not, if you're trying a new character or something, just communicate. Communication is key, and I feel like there would be maybe less toxicity if people communicated without yelling at each other.
Yeah, definitely. So we've talked about like if Overwatch is still fun, but what do you think the future holds for Overwatch? Do you think you can bring out something that'll make it more fun for you, or maybe something that'll maybe keep players like a little bit more engaged, like going forward? What do you want to see from Overwatch?
Well, I enjoyed the addition of Anna. Like, I don't like playing Widowmaker, but I like playing Anna because she's technically supposed to be support first and sniper second.
I still not even had much chance to play her, man, but she seems like she's pretty fun to play.
Yeah, I would just, what? Sometimes if you're in a game and nobody has chosen heroes yet, just pick Anna, man. Just go for it. Just be the character who goes, I'm picking Anna. Screw it. You guys pick whatever. I'm going to be Anna. And, just play it out. But, I
was just going to say, like, because I watch so much Overwatch, when I do play Overwatch, I feel like I have played these characters, like, and I kind of know all the traits and things like that. I know it's weird to say, but, like, I feel like by watching a lot, like, I kind of understand the game a lot as well, even though I don't play much.
Yeah,
it's just that my aim still sucks. What I mean?
Well, that's the thing. You can understand the fundamental. It's like understanding the fundamentals of a fighting game, but not being able to pull off the right combos or the timing for frame traps and all that technical stuff. So it's obviously you need some of that muscle memory to actually pull it off, but it's good to have that knowledge as well. But
so one of the things they like talking about, or one of the things that they're hinting at, is like a stealth character. It's meant to be the next one, like Sombra apparently.
Yeah.
Well, I've kind of read some interesting things. I've been trying to think in my mind like how they can like incorporate a stealth character. Yeah. And I kind of like read something where maybe they can like hack into other players and see how their ults are like on the field, you know what I mean? Like I don't know how that would work, but this stealth character would be able to see how far along their ults are and things like that. Maybe that sounded interesting. And obviously the big one is like a stealth system, the cloaking system. Like pretty much a lot of first-person shooters have had like the stealth mechanic where you just kind of go cloaked. Yeah. And I always feel like that's not really that fun to play against, but it's kind of fun to play as. So I'm trying to like wonder how they're going to balance it. And like one of the things I read about is like something that happens in kind of in like StarCraft or something like that is where a character can cast like there's like an area, like they cast like a big circle, and within that circle they remain invisible. So they could be anywhere within that circle. But obviously the enemy won't know where you are in that circle, but they'll know that there's an invisible player within that kind of space. And I thought that might have been like a pretty interesting way to do it. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, so, like, in StarCraft there are cloaking characters, but also, like, there are ways for you to detect cloaked characters. So there would need to be a counter to that. And in TF2, the spy could cloak, or the spy could actually, take on the appearance of a teammate.
Yes.
But the sad thing is the only real counter to that was to have a pyro who would burn his own player teammates,
Right.
and then obviously the spy would catch on fire, and you'd be like, okay, that's a spy,
Yeah.
So that's something I don't want to see in Overwatch, because Overwatch is so fast paced and there's so much happening. I feel like if the cloak is something that's more than maybe like a couple of seconds or something, it would be too overpowered, because like I feel like if you could cloak for too long, you could get behind people, just keep knocking them out, or do whatever you can do, and then you're like, well, okay, well, this is not fun. I can't see what I'm shooting. There's so many other things happening. Yeah.
I mean, it would be interesting to see how they incorporate it, because it sounds like that is definitely what they're going to do, but we just don't know anything about it. We don't know how, in what way it's going to be like a stealthy character, but I'm pretty interested. Obviously, there's no flame like pyro character either. Maybe something in the future. You know what I want? I want somebody who can like go like supernatural, like Samus, into a ball and like roll around places. I don't know, man. I just want to play as a ball in Overwatch. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just want to play as a rolling ball. Maybe drop a few mines. I don't know.
Sounds like you want to play Junkrat.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to roll around as a ball. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like somebody who can go into a ball and like roll through. Can you imagine if they like actually had maps where like only certain
that would be too much, I think. That would really
because you don't have to play like that character on that map. There'd be like no other way around it there.
I think the biggest thing I'm excited to see where they go in the future, though, is the competitive stuff. Like currently, the competitive mode in Overwatch, the way it's been handled is the only reason I'm not playing it. Because a lot of the criticisms and things I've said here, technically people respond to that by saying, well, why don't you play ranked mode? And it's like, well, ranked mode right now feels kind of broken. Like the way that they handle people who leave seems a little weird. The whole sudden death mechanic, which they're getting rid of in season 2, because they agree it's terrible. That is a horrible way to deal with sudden death.
Coin flip.
The coin flip is that's bad. But I am excited to see them hopefully figure it out so that we can get an actual good competitive mode in the game, so that I can be like, okay, everyone is here for the same reason. They want to play as a team. They want to, do as well as they can, And, maybe that's home to where I want to play, a good game of Overwatch. And then I'll go into, quick play and then have some fun. But I really want to see... them expand on competitive to make it more attractive to people who would maybe otherwise not look at it, and really embrace it as a team sport rather than another place for you to be extremely toxic or way too overbearing as to what you should expect from your teammates. Like I don't know. It's I'm concerned that Overwatch will get taken over by toxic players, but it seems like the community wants to try its best to not be toxic, so I don't know, we'll see. But I'm just excited for, again, the same things that I mentioned the last time we talked about Overwatch is, what do they have in store for new maps?
New maps is definitely going to be definitely going to be an interesting thing, because I'm just ready for new maps now. I think a lot of people are.
I actually don't mind the maps nowadays, because because the problem is that I play the same damn map over and over again, because like I'll queue up, I'll wait, like it takes me like 2 minutes to find a match these days in solo queue, and then I play a map. Whether I win or lose, people leave, so I go back to queuing for 2 minutes. Like at this point, I have YouTube videos queued up so that I can watch YouTube while I'm waiting to queue in Overwatch. That's what it's come to in my solo queue plays. Yeah. But the problem is that the map rotation sucks. Like, I wish there was a thing where it's like, okay, you played, like, I literally played Lijiang Tower 4 times in a row because people kept leaving, so I couldn't go to a new map.
There's something really wrong with it. Yeah, I feel like you try not to do that, but if you're waiting 2 minutes, I think after 2 minutes they're just like, fuck it, we're just gonna throw you in the same map again.
Exactly. And I feel like, I don't know, man, I have a whole bunch of conspiracy theories. Like, I have a conspiracy theory that the game purposely gives you loot for heroes you don't play, because now that I play so many characters, the only rare loot I get is money. Before I would get like rare loot for characters I don't play, but since I play so many of them now, all I get is money.
That's interesting.
And on top of that, I feel like if I start winning too much in Overwatch solo queue, it starts pairing me with like level 10 and 20s, and I'm like, what did I do to deserve this? And I'm playing against people who are like level 120, level 200. I played with a level 500.
What?
Yes,
I didn't even know that
5
existed.
stars, 5 stars, and I'm like, I'm playing with a level 30. What do I do? What is this?
I need to play more, dude. I just want to have like a full day, like 12 hours straight, where I just play nothing but Overwatch, man. I need that day. I need it so bad, man.
Yeah, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but you know.
Yeah.
Some days I just want to throw my computer out the window.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so bad at it, man. I get really salty a lot of the time.
Yeah,
and it's not good, but at the same time, it's like, man, I just hate shit teammates. I don't know, it's my own fault for playing solo and stuff like that. But I can't. I've got no choice. I
don't know, man. Some of your salty deaths, I think, have been the highlight of our Overwatch series. Like the most recent one we did with when you got pissed off at the Mei. You just yelled at me.
Oh, everyone hates Mei. Everybody hates Mei. She's the worst. I need to start playing as Mei just so I can dish out some of the soul. I feel.
Yo, man. As much as people like harp on Mei, she's a good character, man. In the right hands, Mei is a pretty strong character. She can also be the most trolliest character in the freaking series, in the entire game, but
yeah. Oh, and I've also had the thing where Symmetra is like put portals on the edge of maps as well.
It's the worst. I keep running into those people, and I want to. Oh my god.
And it's not even like you can ignore them anymore. You just have to report them.
Yeah.
I've seen people say to like, will quit out the game if they see somebody select Hanzo on their own team or something like that.
Well, I mean, if you need support and you're choosing Hanzo, you're just being a dick at that point.
But, people like, not even Hanzo, like, people just quit the game when someone chooses like Hanzo or a Genji. Like,
the worst ones are the ones who will not pick a hero the entire like 30 seconds. You gotta, wait, and then they just leave the game. And it's like, well, okay, thanks. Now we're down to play
AFK and just like forgot to like quit out or something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, let's not get back into the negative. Let's just try to end it on a positive. Overwatch still fun, you would say?
Yeah, man. I love Overwatch, man. It's just one of them games which is just slotted into like just one of my favorite like games ever, I'd say.
It's nice to see that it didn't go by the wayside of like, oh, it's just a TF2 clone, or it's just the flavor of the month.
And we knew, like, it's Blizzard, so the content has been coming, really good pace, the really good community. I just love following that shit, man. I just love, like, coming, like, see, when they announce a new character or when they announce something new, man, I'm the first one to check it out. I love it, man.
Yeah, it's great. So, lovely listener, be sure to leave your thoughts as well. Are you still enjoying Overwatch? Are you over the Overwatch hype? Is it over hype? Or what are your favorite heroes? What are your least favorite heroes? How do you feel about Mei? All of that. Hanzo, are you one of those who picks Hanzo despite the fact that you have no support? If you are, you should probably feel bad, but
there are some good Hanzos, but they're very rare, I've found.
Yeah, but come on, you need a healer. Just take one for the team, damn it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is already at the start, ready to defend. Take the damn healer spot.
All we need is like just 4 healers and a McCree, like maybe a tank. That'll do.
Anyway, yeah, be sure to leave your thoughts, your favorite Overwatch moments. I don't know, whatever. Be sure to leave them in the comments. Always appreciate them.
Yeah.
And that has been our Overwatch talk. We probably could have gone on for much longer, but there are still things to be done. Yes, more salt to come indeed, I'm sure. Yeah. But anyway, yes, so thank you for listening to us give fanboy gush about Overwatch. And we'll see you guys next time for another episode of the Drop Pod.
All right.
Bye.
See you later, guys.